Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video News Now. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is this UFO that was shot in Manasquan Beach, which is in New Jersey on January 1st. Also have this one here of a drone in Colorado. It's not lighted up, and there's a few others on here too. And then let's see, and then this is an old one. This was from the 1950 of a TikTok UFO that was shot. It's funny listening to the way these guys talk back then too. And then I got a couple from TikTok here. Got this spherical UFO. And then I got this military guy here explaining the drones. Giving an explanation of the drones. He says that some of them are ours, and then he talks about the orbs not being ours. And let's see, and then this is a long 2-hour. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Research presentation about the Nazca mummies, the little gray alien beings. Let's see, where were they? Well, I'm sure most people know here. Oh, here it is. I think it's this. Yeah, this guy here. Actually, they were calling this one Maria, but they've recently come to the conclusion that it's actually a male. And let's see. And then I got this here. It talks about some of our anti-gravity craft that is known. Or maybe it's still considered top secret, but enough whistleblowers have talked about it. And I think there's actually some patents on Google, especially for this here, this BN 2000. And then let's see. And then this is I came across this on Reddit. I have no idea whether it's, real or not, but it's supposed to be a letter from some extraterrestrial named Jenny. But remember another thing, we've come to the realization that I think back in the day, we're in the 21st century now, so I guess I can say in the 20th century, they really made us feel that, any notion or any talk of UFOs or aliens, they always had to be coming from outside of the planet. We basically know that, they're all coming from, or not all of them, but the majority are most likely from terrestrial. They originate from this planet in our oceans and in deep earth caverns. But anyways, that's going to be the last. And then, of course, I remember to do the images from my folder. Anyways, I got a bunch to look at. So if you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing this information to you, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. More importantly, please subscribe. Anyways, let's get to this one here. Let me go to the beginning. Oh, yeah, so now this is in New Jersey. Not the most exciting, but, I find it interesting that the media isn't really talking about this anymore. And I watched a clip of Ryan Graves talking to Joe Rogan, and Ryan Graves said that, that this will come out for a few weeks and then it's just going to stop. Now, I don't know if the sightings have necessarily stopped or it's just the media has stopped talking about this, and we've gone on to other things. But we've gone to other things with the Cybertruck thing happening at the Trump Tower. Now, I believe that that's definitely a psyop. That's some kind of psyop there. And the reason I say that is because it's being pushed on all of the different, social media, influencers. I think anytime something like this gets such massive airplay all at the same time, but to me, it's because it's all being coordinated. And I'm sure, or maybe not everyone, but, there's no doubt that the CIA is involved in constantly trying to manipulate information or propagandize the American public. People who have been into quote unquote conspiracy theories. They're well aware of Operation Mockingbird and COINTELPRO, where the CIA had their intelligence assets in every single major publication and broadcast station, every single one, right? The American public has been lied to, propagandized, misinformed, at least since the 70s, or for sure since Obama, but rescinded the Smith-Mund Act, where it used to be illegal for our country, the government, to lie to the American people, but that Obama signed that away. So they've been, cranking up the lies even more. So, yeah. So my point is, the CIA isn't going to stop at COINTELPRO or Operation Mockingbird. If they see that the public is now listening to podcasts, that's where they're going to move. And I think they're going to have people like Sean Ryan, who's, obviously, he doesn't even try to hide it, that he's, that he works for the CIA, or he's quote unquote a former CIA, which is, there's no such thing as a former CIA agent. If he's still getting a pension, you know what I mean? He's still pushing lies for them. But I just think I also find it interesting how someone like, him, right? Just all of a sudden, he's able to interview highly influential people, or highly influential people come to him to get interviewed. No, I believe that people like him are plants on the same line as Operation Mockingbird and COINTELPRO. They're not, our government won't stop lying to us. They're just going to alter their tactics. Anyways, that's that. Let me go on to this next video here. Yeah, this is interesting because this one here isn't lit up.
Oh shit, that's fucking crazy.
Whoa.
Drone sighting over White Sands NASA
Now
testing
you know why
facility.
people in New Jersey are so freaked out. Oh, yeah.
That's flying near White
I mentioned one of my other videos
Yeah, no,
that
that's absolutely...
Okay, today is Saturday, November 23rd, 2020.
that these orbs showing up over these military sites may not necessarily be, looking for military information, but rather gathering other.
Over here to our right,
they're being seen over data centers.
I can't kind of see all of it, but that's Pikes Peak over there where the red light is. That's where the light tower is on Pikes Peak. And you come over here, and there is what appears to be a UFO, and it is cube-shaped, and it has flashing red lights, and it's pretty cool looking. I can't really catch it very well on here.
Well, you can definitely see the square shape here. But I wonder if there's a black orb inside of there.
It's very interesting to watch this. It's just kind of hovering there, and we bet NORAD's on this because NORAD's not that far away. But man, this is pretty intense. What do you guys think?
Yeah, see, that whole Cybertruck manifesto thing, that's all being pushed. They're trying to say, that this is some kind of war between China and the U.S., revealing our technology. But no doubt we have this technology.
I have an eerie sense of it. It's kind of weird. Every time I basically want to walk away from ufology because it's just so bloody poisonous a lot of the time, something nudges me. And I had another nudge. I can't talk about it, but I had another nudge, another major nudge late last week. And it was world rocking. It was kind of like, holy hell. And one thing that came out of it that I can talk about is that the implications of it are that, if true, a large part of what's been frustrating our attempts to reverse engineer this technology is the problems with the shortage of people who have the capacity to consciously engage with whatever this technology is, and that you need a particular type of person to operate this technology using your brain and your consciousness.
Yeah, that probably means that these craft, you don't necessarily operate like a fly-by-wire type of system, but it actually connects into your consciousness, and you apparently become one with the craft. So yeah, so there are no controls to operate. You control it with your mind. I think that's what he's alluding to here when he says it has to be a special type of person. Anyways, this is from the 1950s. Let me give you, let's see. This is 1950, the Great Falls, Montana UFO film. A classic UFO film was taken on August 15th, 1950 by Nicholas Mariana, general manager of the Great Falls Selectrics baseball team. This film was listed as top secret, and although now declassified, is still considered an unknown. Let me go back and listen to the way these guys talked back then.
Show you the Montana film. This film was shot August the 15th, 1950. It was taken in Great Falls, Montana by Nick Mariana. Immediately after we were notified of the sighting, we sent an intelligence man to get a first-hand report.
My name is Nick Mariana. For the past 6 years, I've been the general manager of a minor league baseball club called the Electrics. We play out of Great Falls, Montana, and are a farm club of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
And I'm married to Mary Lou, and we have 2 kids named Tom and Jeff.
On August 15th, 1950, at Legion Ballpark in Great Falls, Montana, after a couple of hours in the clubhouse office, I went up into the grandstand to call the groundskeeper. As I reached the top of the stairway, I glanced northward to the tall Anaconda Copper Company smokestack.
Anyway, this guy, sits there and gives a narration. God, you know what? There's no way people actually talk like that. He has to be memorizing a script or something. Okay, here we go. Here's the footage.
This is the Montana film, projected exactly as it was photographed. The objects are moving against a 25 to 28 mile an hour wind. This is the film in double frame or slow motion. A slight bounce in the movement of the objects as well as the tower is perceptible.
Yeah, it definitely looked like the classic tic-tac shape that we all know now because of the gimbal and the Go Fast videos. But there's no way China or Russia did not have this technology in the 1950s. If anyone knows anything about history, right? They were farmers. They were an agrarian society. Their scientists, were not working on this, or not just working on it, but having it perfected.
This is due to the handheld camera. The film, analyzed frame by frame, shows the movement of the objects to be horizontal and steady.
We will now vary the action and size of the objects and also stop the action from time to time for your study. We have just made a jump cut in the film to an enlarged size and reversed the action. You are now seeing the objects exactly as they were photographed, but from a closer perspective.
Yeah, definitely have this, the tic-tac egg shape. But again, there's now, like, that this thing said this was just recently declassified. But why? Why don't they want us to know any of this? Let's see, this is one of these orbs. Let me start it from the beginning, actually. You know, I wonder if that's a sphere that rancher found. I've seen a couple videos about that. I wonder if that's what, one of these, if it would look like that. If we were to find, okay, now, anyways, this one here is this Army whistleblower claiming that, that some of these drones are ours and then others aren't.
Drones up in the sky as of right now in New Jersey and stuff, in Texas, everywhere. Like, y'all don't gotta be afraid. Them are man-made drones. And we're doing the launching or whatever. Now, what you do have to be concerned of, my bad, my eye, but is the orbs that's inside the sky that y'all see that's glowing and stuff, that's shooting down the drones and all that. That's not a part of us. Them are actually real life aliens. Like, aliens do exist. They're above and they're below us. Yes, they do exist. And 2025 come, there will be a lot more of exposing the truth. Now, I can't say the reason why, but because it's already out here, so I can speak on this. Aliens are real, and we will have to evacuate sooner than later. But just be careful, keep looking up in the sky. We are launching.
Okay, now,
drones.
what the hell does he mean by we will have to evacuate sooner or later? What the fuck do you mean by that, my brother? Please, I wish you could, someone told me that, or here, like if they've taken his original video down from his main account and banned him from going live. Because he just revealed too much right there. What the hell does that mean?
And we will have to evacuate sooner than later.
We will have to evacuate sooner than later. Okay, is that why all the secrecy? Is that the main reason? I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about the changes in climate having to do with preparing this planet for these other people, but I never really bought into that. Is that something that we have to actually consider now? Oh, brother. Anyways, let's check this out. I mean, let me just jump to the head where these guys are, really in here analyzing this information. So again, I still cannot believe that there are people who are in denial of this at this point.
Es la armonía que existe en la distribución de los huesos.
It says harmony that exists. Well, let's see. Wow, this is real hard to read. That as a whole would expect from a specimen corresponding to a species of its own, the humanoid reptile and the Yapanenis, its phenotypic character would be more related to the group known as reptiles. Without a something, absence, hippo, mammary glands, absence of hair. You see, this is like, serious research. I don't. A lot of highly qualified individuals have done extensive research on other hominid species. Again, and then, why isn't this being discussed in mainstream media? Okay, you know what? This is all I'm going to play of this. Again, if anyone's interested, please look for this video here or go to their channel. Nazca alien mummies scientific research are presented to the Congress of Peru. Look, this was in 2018. This was 6 years ago. And people are still in denial. People still have no idea. Oh, let me see if I can enlarge this one here. So now these are supposed to be the anti-gravity craft that we have, that the U.S. government has. The TR-3C, ROL, prototype vehicle, experimental, manufactured, Lockheed Northrop Corporation. It's 39 feet, 12 meters, max acceleration, 5.66 Gs. First flight in 1991. Let's see, the 09G, ROL, tactical aircraft, orbital shuttle, manufactured, General Dynamics. Diameter 70 meters, 230 feet, max acceleration 22.67 Gs. I have no idea what these numbers here mean. 22.224 are meters per second. Is that what that is? 222.24 meters per second. First flight 06/02/2001. So these are 21st century vehicles here. TR-5A, prototype fighter, experimental, manufacturer, Lockheed Martin, diameter 11.6 meters, 38 feet, max acceleration 35 Gs, 334 meters per second. Oh, that's meters per second squared or something like that. First flight 29/12/2013. And then the BN 2200. You know, there's some videos of this, but I always thought that they were CGI videos. Maybe they are real. And I think, and there's one supposedly of a similar craft sitting on an aircraft carrier. Again, I've always thought that was fake too. Let's see, the BN 2200 ROL, orbital interplanetary shuttle. So if we have interplanetary shuttles, does that mean this is going to other planets within our solar system? Or is it orbital interplanet? Or is it just like taking personnel out to a mothership? Manufacturer Lockheed Martin, Bigelow Aerospace. Diameter 22.2 meters. That's, what is it, 85.9 feet. Max acceleration 21 Gs. 205.8 meters per second squared. First flight in 2004. It says abstract, apparatus and method for generating a time-variant non-electromagnetic force field due to the dynamic interaction of relatively moving bodies and for transforming such force fields into energy for doing useful work. I wish I could see better close-ups of these images here. Classification, HO1S400, no idea what that means. Devices using stimulated emissions of electromagnetic radiation in wave ranges other than those covered by groups. Phenon masers, no idea what any of that means. Wow, this is pretty interesting here. It says transverse magnetic field, LMNOP. When opposite charges of the diffuse layer have neutralized and conduction through the sphere sets seizes the fluid inside the torrid will once again charge up the diffuse layer and again generate the torrid's magnetic fields to repeat the whole cycle all over again. Negatively charged particles are thrust downward at great velocity, and any others trapped in the field will be pulled back into the craft's center when this magnetic field collapses. Negatively charged particles entering the collapsing transverse field will be drawn into the Toritz field once they have been reestablished and once again circulate and store in the middle or in the magnetic field outside the craft, ready for the next transverse field to be generated and to be discharged downward through the center vent hole. You know, if I remember correctly, there was a documentary out a few years back about Torrids or toroidal fields by this guy named, I think it was Proctor. Oh, what was that? I'm going to have to look for that. It had to do with energy fields. Anyways, let's see. Let's go to this next. Okay, now this clip here, like I said, this is it's just over 3 minutes, but it's very interesting. It's supposedly a letter from an extraterrestrial named Jenny. Remember, if this is real, I don't think she's an extraterrestrial. I think that she's one of these advanced beings that can share the planet with us. Anyways, check this out.
Här har vi det. Genom hela ert liv löper en tråd som kallas.
You know, let me read this. I forgot that it was in some other language. It says, throughout your life, a thread called love runs.
Kärlek. Kommer ni utanför denna tråd?
If you fall outside this thread or abuse its meaning, there is unfortunately no hope for your continued existence. However, once you have learned what love really means, you can take the next step. First of all, you must learn to love your fellow human beings and all living things. Yes, your whole planet. If you cannot cope with this, then once again, all hope is gone. But what do? Yes, you are abusing one of the most important commandments in the universe. You are fighting for profit. You torture and maim your next. You mismanage the only nature you have. You plague your whole atmosphere with all the poison you can muster. And why? Well, for something as pathetic as money and power. There are many existences in the universe, but none of them have sunk so low that they would even try to harm anyone else for their own gain. What do you think your children and grandchildren will live on when your whole planet is destroyed by money and power? No, they would curse what you did. They must be given a chance to survive in a clean and beautiful world. And the hand on the heart, would it not be a greater joy to be able to hand over a prosperous planet to your descendants than a single large pile of rubbish? Is it actually possible to live a little easier? Believe me, or it is actually possible to live a little easier, believe me. Okay, now, let me just say one thing about that. I mean, that's, very profound, but remember, there's only a tiny handful of people that the majority of us have allowed to do this to our planet, right? Not all of us are driven by profit and power. It's only a very tiny handful of people that are doing that. And they're doing it because the majority allow it to happen, because the majority aren't speaking up enough. Yeah, I think people have forgotten the power of the many. And I think that's why, we have this whole divide and conquer, this constant reminder that there are differences, or that we have differences, when, in reality, we're all in this shit together. And like I've said, we are allowing a tiny group of people to destroy the planet. And it's because they have this insatiable need called greed that they will never be able to satisfy. And again, and unless more people start speaking up, it's not. Yeah, we're not going in the right direction. Anyways, let's get to some of these images here. Like I said, for those who don't know, these are some images that I found in in a folder of mine during one of my searches for information, and it's just been sitting on my computer. Opened it up one day and found all these. So no other context than that. But I believe this must be something that has been described by many people, and we know we have the tridactyl beings now. So again, would it be a stretch to believe that those tridactyl beings are still alive, or do still interact with us on a regular basis? And for whatever reason, they've decided that they need to do this while we're asleep or unconscious. This here looks like someone being taken, right? The two arms pulling the one arm. And then here in the background here, it looks as if this larger being, right, has put some kind of field, encompassed this person, or maybe this is represents, and again, in this latter image, maybe this represents a person laying in bed. And then, yeah, this is a, again, large-headed being. Mom, daughter. And we're now finding out that people who are being abducted, generally it's a generational thing. Their parents, grandparents, or they have children. If they were abducted, then their children also are abducted. So to me, I'm going to assume that they must be studying some type of genetic. I don't know if a genetic defect or a genetic change. Maybe they've made some genetic changes to one of their grandparents, and they're just seeing if these changes or defects or whatever. Wow, this is kind of freaky here. Recess, black figure outside my living room window, April 8th. Also in November 82, next door gardens, wall steps. Well, this is pretty intricate. I think it's pretty amazing when things like this happen to, real artists, and they're able to create things like this so we have a better understanding of what they experienced. Yeah, here, once again, this is one of those images where you see these lines coming out of their eyes, and I think this represents some type of power, some type of connection, that they feel that it's being projected. I mean, I'm sure the person that drew this feels as if it's being projected through their eyes, because I've never heard about these people blinking. Well, actually, the Skinny Bob video, that little dude does blink. is funny, guy with a mullet. I wonder what this represents. Is this one of their symbols? Like a Rorschach test or something like that. Does that say Ariel? You know, in a lot of these images, I always see that name, Ariel. I think I've seen this 3 or 4 times now. This obviously is alien, and then spaceship. Yeah, look at those eyes. Again, why do all these, again, no, not why. All these kids, right, these children are drawing these eyes like this because, again, this is obviously what they must look like. Again with the eyes, I suppose this represents the girl that this happened to. Interesting. She didn't draw any hands. I don't think she drew any hands on these guys too, and also no ears. There's supposedly some kind of a psychological test that, you know, you have a person. Oh, it's called the house tree person test that was administered like back in the 70s. I think I'm pretty sure I took that test too. But they had, you know, you have kids draw a house, a tree, and a person. I think it was the house tree person test. And then you look at, you analyze, you know, certain features that they would include on the house: windows, doors, knobs, you know, roof. If when they draw the person, they see if, you know, if you draw feet. If you don't draw feet, that generally means you don't feel like you're grounded, or you're stable. Or if you don't draw hands, means that they don't feel as if they have they have control of the world. That, you know, they can't manipulate their world. If they don't, or if they draw big ears, that means they're very conscientious about, you know, what they hear. Or if they don't draw ears, I guess that means something. Yeah, but again, it's all, you know, all these little things. Even with the tree, you know, do you draw branches? Are there leaves on the branches? How thick is the trunk? You know, if you have a nice thick tree trunk, right, as opposed to a little skinny, frail tree trunk. Yeah, a lot of interesting things you can tell. But again, I think it's called the house tree person test. Anyways, this is the last image here. 3 fingers again, right? 1, 2, 3 fingers with the eyes. So what is this all about? Obviously, there's some type of a abduction program going on. I would really, really like to, you know, have a light shine on all this. Like, I hate being in the dark about all of this. But anyways, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for making it till the end. As I said before, if you appreciate the time and effort I put into bringing this information to you, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video, and more importantly, please subscribe. Until next time, take care.